Hey, I'm Nathan. Welcome to the Scarpa booth. So I thought maybe you're here, you'd like to see the new model of the Vapor. So Vapor is actually one of our most popular climbing shoes, mainly because they're very balanced. They do a little bit of everything. And most people haven't got to the stage where they have 3, 4, 5 pairs of climbing shoes and they want one climbing shoe that does a little bit of everything. They're a 7-panel design, so most people think that they're intermediate. They're not. They've actually got just as many pieces as a Drago. So, and the pattern that stitches them is very, very hard to do. It's a very, very small kicker at the front here. You can even see the outline on the shoe. And that's because the toe position in Vapor is a little bit flatter. That's because Vapor, we really wanted to make it an edging and smearing shoe that had a good balance between either. The first version of the Vapor was almost all leather, and then the next version of the Vapor was a combination of synthetic and other materials. And then the last version of the Vapor that we got here is synthetic on both sides with a leather at the bottom. So the version before had suede leather on the inside here, and we exchanged that for microfiber. And that made the upper a little bit softer, as well as we reduced the volume of the tongue and tapered it a little bit. So that made the whole shoe a little bit softer. So we put a new plastic insert on the inside. And previously you would have heard that we had Flexam plastic inserts. We use that a lot in the performance models. And the new Vapor has a Talon plastic insert. And the Talon is just a little bit stiffer. We also extended the plastic up and over the heel. So it just gave a little bit more structure to the shoe because changing out the leather for the synthetic softened the upper. And we didn't want to change the characteristic of the shoe very much for climbing. We just really wanted to make it a little bit more comfortable and a little less of breaking in period, but the same performance. One of the other things that you'll notice, it's got a excess grip to heel with 2 layers. So that's something that we previously did on the Instinct model, and a lot of people really liked it. So we put this onto the model. It adds a little bit more labor, but it gives the heel the ability to change shape, and obviously it gives the best rubber for heel hooking on the other side. So overall, we improved basically the characteristics so the shoe could break in a little bit faster, but in the end, the shoe remains on the same last with the same shape, and just a color update and a softening of the upper and a stiffening of the midsole. The Vapor Women's and the Vapor Men's are on different lasts, so they have different rubbers. So you'll see this sample prototype's got excess edge. It's actually excess grip too on the women's, and it's excess edge on the men's. But that's not really the biggest difference. The biggest difference is the total volume of the shoe. So especially in the heel, the volume's a lot more narrower and more sculptured on the female version than it is in the male. I mean, a lot of people are choosing the shoes off the outside looks. It's not what we want. We want them to look inside and climb with the shoe. But in the end, the Velcro strap looked a little bit nicer with a little bit of 3D print pulling it out. The strap is the same. We did insert a piece of elastic in the middle here just to kind of keep that flat and keep a real snug fit, because we felt the straps just pulled in 2 points and the middle point didn't get pulled in enough. So that's why the Velcro versions changed slightly on either side. We did a lot of changes on it in the hope that we would make it more comfortable but change nothing about the characteristic of the shoe. And you know, in the end that meant that we changed the whole midsole, the shape and the plastic. So it's probably...
It's a totally different shoe.
It is, yeah. It's a totally different shoe with the same characteristic when you climb. But I think it shows that you can't just fiddle with one layer and not affect the whole shoe. So each layer has an effect. Doesn't matter what you do with it, even if just changing the material will change the way. It comes out at $20.19, and the price is a moderate increase, but I think it's marginal. $5, $10. Yeah, so we tried as much as we could to keep the same price, but obviously there's a little bit more work, especially in the heel. It's gone from a single layer heel to a dual layer excess grip heel. So it takes a little bit more work to do. That most people just don't realise how much work goes into the climbing shoes. If you put a relative price on the climbing shoes compared to some of the other shoes, the margins are actually pretty small. They take a long time to make and there's a lot of handwork in them. But we're capped by having the most expensive prices on the market. I think people just don't understand how long it takes, and we've got, 38 out of our 39 models are all made in Italy. So we haven't got the alternative of cheaper manufacturing or anything like that.